Alright, we're back for another Dokkan Battle video, and in today's video we are going to be going over the LR Beast Gohan's banner, because of course we did go over all three of the other 9th year anniversary banners in previous videos. And let me just say this, out of all the banners we get for 9th year anniversary, Beast Gohan's banner's got to be the best one. Don't get me wrong, there's some weak options on here, there's some low lows, but there's also some high highs, like really high highs. More specifically, Beast Gohan and the 6th year anniversary LRs. So, we'll go over everyone in this video, or a lot of the good options on this banner, and talk about if it is worth it. Spoiler alert, yeah, it's worth it. I mean, look at this banner. It's really good. I mean, even though there's a couple weaker options, and I say that very loosely, I mean, they are weaker, but they're still not bad. They're just weaker compared to the craziness of the other units. It's not a bad banner. Overall, for newer players, this is amazing. Even if you've been playing for a little, I'm sure there's some units on here that you don't have or don't have rainbowed, so there'll be a ton of value there. Granted, Worldwide Download Celebration is right after anniversary, so saving for that definitely does have some value as well. But summoning a little on this really is not a bad idea. I definitely do recommend that, because Beast Gohan, he's absolutely crazy. We'll briefly go over all these units, and then we'll go more into detail about some of the units that I wanted to talk about. But Beast Gohan's amazing. Krillin and 18, a really good unit as well. Actually, I don't have them pulled up, so we'll pull them up so we can talk about them here in a second. But yeah, Beast Gohan's good. Krillin and 18, really good. Both the new units, I mean, I'd say they knocked it out of the park, especially with Beast Gohan. We got Blue Goku and Vegeta. All right, they struggle for the first couple turns, but once you fuse into Vegito, they're really, really good. GT Duo, I still really like them. You got to build up that damage reduction with them, but once you get that and you get your supers off with them, they're really, really good defensively. It does kind of suck because you have to throw them in slot 2 and 3 for those first couple turns before you build up said damage reduction. But between that, between the stacking attack and the standby, which obviously you're stacking attack, so that standby is going to hit like a nuke, they're going to be really good. And they're a little bit of a support when they go into the standby, blah, blah, blah. We'll go over all that in a second. We got Goku and Vegeta, Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta. Not a big fan of them. Yes, they're pretty good, but defensively, they just don't really get to a good level, or like a really good level. They're only really solid for like difficult events that you've got type advantage in, but other than that, not really a great unit with them. Monkeys can still be pretty good, especially once you fuse into Gogeta. You got to make sure you stack a little with them, and for the first couple turns, they will struggle, but they're still a good unit, right? I mean, obviously, Anniversary LR, they're 2 years old at this point, so yeah, they're good. It's crazy to think they're going to be easy-ang next anniversary, but that's a whole nother thing. 6th year anniversary LRs, I'm not going to start talking about them because I'm just going to start rambling, and then that's going to be the whole video. Let's just talk about them when we go over them specifically. They are very good. Gobros, not the best, but once they build up, they can look pretty alright. Their damage is really good, but their defense, I think that's where they're really going to struggle, especially before you built up. Physical Piccolo, I really like him. He's a stacker. He's got damage reduction. Overall, a good unit, but for those first couple turns, defensively, he might struggle a little. But especially once you transform with him, he's a good unit. I like this guy. I think he's impressive. He gets a lot of disrespect, but I think he's pretty good. Here, I just want to look at him for a brief second. I think this guy has, like, 40% damage reduction? Yeah, and he's got a scouter right here. Where's the damage reduction now? Oh, yeah, he doesn't get the damage reduction until he transforms. Oh, okay. Forgot about that. All right, so it might be a little bit of a struggle with him because the transformation, pretty sure it takes a second to get. Can be activated when HP is 70% or more with another Namekian's category ally on the team, starting from the 4th turn from start of battle. Okay. Not insanely common to get. So, some harsh restrictions. Not the best unit before you transform. He is stacking, and he's got a scouter, which is definitely very useful, but you do have to baby him a little. But once you transform with him, he is going to look impressive, obviously with all the carried over stack defense, the 40% damage reduction. He's still got the scouter. You got crits in here. And some good things going on with the Piccolo. But yeah, I would say these two options are definitely the weakest. They can be good in some situations, but overall they're not like insane. But all the other units are very good. So just to go ahead and get right into it, Beast Gohan. I mean, what doesn't he have, right? We got good super attack effects, carrying over defense for multiple turns. He's supporting for crits on his 18 key. Now, you have to have a ally whose name includes Piccolo to get his unit super attack, but it's not going to be that difficult to get because, of course, Orange Piccolo is a unit. So just run them next to each other, and you're going to be absolutely fine. His passive is that he gets 8 key, chance of performing a critical hit plus 40% and 40% damage reduction from 5 turns from start of battle. 3 key, 250% attack and defense, guaranteed guard, 50% attack when attacking, chance of performing a critical hit plus 20% when key is 24, and then he gets an additional 80% defense and 20% damage reduction if key is 24 when receiving an attack. He gets 1 key per key sphere obtained, launches an additional attack, and all allies get 3 key within the same turn after receiving an attack. So, you know, with all these things going on after he receives an attack, you're probably just going to want to throw him in slot 1 most of the time, which you will be able to do between, you know, 40% damage reduction, guaranteed guard, carrying over defense for multiple turns, all these crazy defensive buffs, and we're not even like halfway through his kit yet. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to be fine in slot 1, right? You're going to be all right. And then also, this guy gets 1 key up to 5 within the same turn for every attack received, and then he gets a chance of performing a critical hit plus 20% with every attack received, and then he gets an additional chance of performing a critical hit plus 20%, and another 20% damage reduction, and all allies get 2 keys starting from in the turn in which the character performs the 5th attack or receives the 8th attack in battle. Okay, so yeah, for the first couple turns, you're going to want to throw him in slot 1 to receive as many attacks as possible, just to try and get this activated, because the extra 20% damage reduction and support is going to be pretty important. But, again, guard, 40% damage reduction, really good stats, carrying over defense for multiple turns. It's a Dokkan Fest LR, so he's got reasonably high stats as well. By that, I mean like his numbers, like his start of turn stat buffs like these are reasonably high. So between all that, yeah, this guy's really good. I'm not going to sit here and talk about him for the whole video. I easily could, but we got to save a little bit of video room for the 6-year anniversary LRs. But yeah, this guy's absolutely insane. Best unit in the game. Really good option with him. Krillin and 18, I'm going to say overall, they're really good, right? A good support. They support superheroes for like 50% the stats for 2 turns, which superheroes is obviously a very top tier category. And they got dodge built in. I think they can get up to like a 60% chance to dodge, and they build up the more times they dodge. So they're a good unit. I like them. It's just they can have a couple issues here and there, but overall, very valuable unit to have. Next up, we got Blue Goku and Vegeta. This is where it's going to get a little controversial. So they're not really that good for the first couple turns. They've got guard for the first 4 turns. That's great. They're stacking defense. That's great, but they're just not that great. I mean, you'd think a unit that has guard, stacking, and dodge would be good, but I'm going to be honest, not really a huge fan of them up until they transform, or I guess fuse. So once you fuse with them, yeah, they're insane. They're really, really good. Dodge, damage reduction, crazy stats, crazy super attack effects, just everything really crazy. But you got to go through a couple hoops to get there. So the transformation condition, more specifically, is really difficult. It can be activated when HP is 70% or less starting from the 5th turn from battle, or when there's another Future Saga category ally attacking in the same turn, or Future Saga category enemy starting from turn 7. Might not sound like the worst to you, but turn 7 is just way too late, especially because these guys only have that guard for the first 4 turns. So once you lose the guard, but before you fuse with them, they're kind of going to be a sitting duck, because obviously I think the earliest you can get the fusion off is turn 5. But yeah, even the condition isn't that great. So, I mean, most of the time you're probably not going to get it turn 5. You're probably going to be getting it turn 6, 7, 8, which is just way too late in the fight. I mean, this condition, this HP condition really just ruins it all. So, me personally, not a big fan of his condition to fuse, transform, whatever. But again, once you get the fusion, I mean, it's pretty good. So this guy has some high highs, but also some low lows. So just be careful with how you use him. You can't really throw him in any fight and just expect him to dominate like you could with someone like Beast Gohan. But still, if you're careful with him, you baby him for the first couple turns, and then you get the fusion, then he's going to start to just completely dominate. So good unit overall, but he definitely does have his issues. And then we got GT Duo. I really like them. I pretty much said all I needed to say about them earlier. You build up the damage reduction with them. They're going to be really impressive. Good super attack effects, and they've got a ton of built-in additionals. So after you get all the stats from both of these, and then also you've got this right here, then yeah, in slot 2 and 3, they're going to be fine. But for those first couple turns without the damage reduction, you do want to be careful with them. They got the standby, so you want to die with them. The whole point is to die, so then you can revive and then drop that standby. So defensively, they suck, but that's pretty much the whole point, right? You want to die, so then you can drop the standby. And then between all the stacked attack from the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and the Goku, and then between them just having some pretty solid buffs, and then also being a really good support as well, yeah, they're going to be looking really crazy, and they're going to make everyone else look really crazy, and they're going to do a lot of damage. So a good unit. I like them. That's why I think they are one of the top tier options on this banner. But these 2 units, all right, let's say this. The best units you could pull, Beast Gohan, UI Goku, Evolution Blue Vegeta, and then under that, you've got like Blue Goku and Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Kid Goku, and then you've got these guys, and then you've got these guys. There's like, those are kind of the tiers of this banner. But 6th-year anniversary LRs, they're definitely on Beast Gohan's level, but I think there's even an argument they might be like neck and neck or a little bit better. You could really go either way. If you really want to sit there and tell me Evolution Blue Vegeta is better than Beast Gohan, I would probably disagree, but I'm not going to be mad at that. Like, that's kind of understandable, right? That would make sense, because these 6th-year anniversary LRs, man, I mean, there's a lot to go over, so I guess let's not waste any time. They're good. UI Goku. Good super attack effects, no defense, but it's not that big of a deal. He's got a lot of dodge, so it kind of makes up for that. He's a support for crits, and then obviously he's got that high chance to crit on his super attack effects, which does stack, so all additionals are guaranteed crits. His passive is that he gets 7 ki, guaranteed dodge for 1 turn upon entering his attacking turn. He gets 200% the stats and an additional 77% the stats when HP is 77% or more. He gets a chance of launching an additional super attack, a chance of evading enemies' attack plus 77%, and then he gets another 7% chance to dodge every time he evades an attack. Yeah, this guy's going to be getting well over a 77% chance to dodge most of the time, because you're going to dodge an attack or two, and you already have a 77% chance to dodge. So we're talking like a 90% chance to dodge most of the time. I mean, obviously, that's very, very reliable. I would be more surprised if you see this guy take any attacks. So that's how good he is. Basically, not going to be taking any damage. Obviously, that's really impressive considering the level of damage this guy's going to be dishing out as well. So then this guy gets, the 7% dodge chance every time he evades an attack. He gets 2 ki up to 10, 30% defense up to 150% for every attack evaded. So now you got this going on as well, which is going to make his defensive stat really good. So even if you do take an attack, still he'll probably be able to tank it. I don't know about supers, but normals he'll definitely be able to take barely any damage from, right? And then he gets 77% attack and performs a crit when activating the active skill or when ki is 24. If HP is 77% or less at the start of character's attacking turn, you revive with 77% HP, so then you got the revive going on as well. So even if somehow you manage to die with this guy, you got that, which obviously is going to be really impressive. And then once you do revive with him, you get 7 keys, 77% the stats, and then you evade enemy's attack within the character's next attacking turn after the revive is activated, so then you get another turn of guaranteed dodge. And then there's the active skill. Not really insane, because he's not stacking attack or anything like that, so the damage will be nice, because it's a guaranteed crit. But the damage isn't going to be, like, insane, like, for example, a GT Duo standby, because they're stacking attack. But the damage is still going to be pretty impressive, on top of his insane defense, and on top of his just really high damage from all the supers, right? So good unit with UI Goku. And then Evolution Blue Vegeta, it somehow manages to get even crazier from there. So really good super attack effects, 50% defense, obviously the 50% chance to get your crit, and then you're supporting for crits by 7%. 18 ki, 50% attack and defense, and then, again, 50% chance to crit, support, yada yada yada, good super attack effects. Passive, 7 ki, guaranteed guard for 1 turn. You get 200% the stats, 50% damage reduction just for free right out of the gate, and then an additional 10% damage reduction within the same turn with every attack received or evaded up to 30%, so we can get a maximum of 80% damage reduction, guaranteed guard for 1 turn, 50% the stats on super, and 200% the stats start of turn, and he's building up. So yeah, I mean, this guy's going to be pretty good. I would say they definitely did him justice, because for a long time, UI Goku was just way better than Evolution Blue Vegeta, but now with this EZA, they've evened it out, if not made Evolution Blue Vegeta better than UI Goku, because this guy is just insane. With UI Goku, there's still the chance that you're going to take some damage if you don't dodge with him, if you just get unlucky, which definitely can happen. It's an RNG-based game. It is what it is. And let's say you take a super, yeah, he's probably going to get destroyed. But Evolution Blue Vegeta, I mean, on his first turn, he's not taking any damage, guard and 50% damage reduction. But then even after that, you keep 50% damage reduction, you're getting 50% the stats on super, and on your 12 key, you're getting the 50% defense, which is contributing a lot because he's going to be getting all these additionals. And then also you're building up here with every attack received or evaded. So when you have an extra 120% the stats on top of this, yeah, his defensive stat start of turn is going to be really good alongside 50% damage reduction, and it's going up to a maximum of 80% with every attack received. So this guy is just really crazy. We still got more to talk about. So he gets an additional attack that is a 77% chance of becoming a super. Again, additionals are going to be benefiting him massively because of this. So that's definitely very good. And then he gets an additional 77% attack and performs a crit when activating the active skill or when Ki is 24. That's really good because his active skill is an AoE, so if it's all just guaranteed crits, that's definitely going to be insanely high damaging. So for stuff like Super Battle Road, anything like that, that's definitely going to be useful. And then at the start of character's attacking turn, after the character receives 5 attacks or more in battle, he revives with 77% HP recovered. So blah blah blah, the revive, it's the same as UI Goku's, I think. And then he comes back with 7 Ki, 77% the stats, and then guards all attacks within the next turn after the character's revival skill is activated. So you've got those 2 turns of guaranteed guard, which only 2 turns definitely do suck. The first turn you have him, and then after you get the revive, especially because you might not even be getting the revive with him sometimes, so you're going to be missing that other turn of guaranteed guard. But it's not necessary. 80% damage reduction with crazy high stats, you don't need guard. You're pretty much good enough on your own. So now when you're throwing this around a couple times in his kit, yeah, it's just, the cherry on the cake. Going to be really good. Amazing defensively and offensively. He's going to be impressive. Both the 6-year anniversary LRs are like that, but Vegeta a little more so. He's going to be better defensively because you don't have to worry about not dodging with him. He doesn't really have dodge. He just has crazy high damage reduction, which he pretty much has all the time. You do have to take an attack or two to get it up to 80%, but that's really not that big of a deal. And then his active skill, I already said it was an AoE, so of course that's going to be useful. The condition behind it, not crazy hard to get. Same thing with the UI Goku because they have the same condition. And then yeah, it's pretty much all the hyping up I can do for the 6-year anniversary LRs. They basically have no flaws. UI Goku's only flaw is if you don't dodge, he might take some damage from a super. Evolution Blue Vegeta's flaw, I guess that second turn without guard and before you've built up a little bit, and if you only have the 50% damage reduction, if you get supered like first thing, yeah, he might take a little bit of damage, but other than that, this guy's crazy. And this guy is almost just as crazy. So a really good banner. I definitely recommend summoning, especially if you don't have the 6-year anniversary LRs, just because this is a great way to pick them up. But again, Worldwide Download Celebration is going to be like a month or 2 after anniversary, and those banners are probably going to be even crazier than this. So maybe don't go like all out on these banners. Maybe just do a couple rotations, do your free summons, and then maybe call it after like a day or 2 of summoning, just so you can then start to save your stones for Worldwide. But anyway, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys are thinking of Beast Gohan's banner down in the comments, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.